During the late hours, a night watchman at a construction site in the Philippines picks up odd sounds coming from the upper levels. He decides to go up and check it out. Things rapidly becomes horrifying.
3080p 68 fps. Oops. Parang may naglalakad. Nawala. Yun. Ang ina na yun. Ina mo!
As the night watchman goes up the staircase, the recording picks up bizarre whispers, a raspy voice that tells him in Tagalog, "Hey, be careful."
Nawala. Nawala.
The watchman reports that in the space he walked into, a see-through young girl showed up in the darkness and began crying and weeping, though she doesn't show up in his recording. But we can pick up her weeping as he bolts from the space in fear. Several days afterward, the watchman claims he spotted the young girl once more in a different darkened space of the structure. He was able to quickly pull out his phone and take this photo. So, what do we make of this? This surely must have been a paranormal incident, don't you think? Activity occurring, but it never appeared to him to film until recently. In this first video, he wrote that one of his niece's toys turns on by itself, so he decided to pull out his camera and head downstairs. Let's take a look.
Alvin. Funny anymore, man. Fuck, dude.
In this video, we see the child's toy that is seemingly activated by the spirit. This prompts Marvin to check all around his house.
Alvin.
Everything seems calm around the house, but take a look when he re-enters the dining room. He notices that the chandelier is swinging, although nobody was in the room. Understandably, this scares the man, who runs off, and that is where the video cuts off. The next video that Marvin took in his home is even freakier. Marvin wrote, "I was showing the night vision on the Xbox One. When I later watched the video, I realized a figure in what appears to be a mist of some sort on the upper right portion of the screen. While I was filming, I did not notice it."
So right now it's completely dark in this house right now. All you can basically see is my Xbox One controller. Now I'm gonna switch on the night vision for you guys. As you can see, it lights up the whole room. It's actually a pretty cool feature. I don't know if they have an app for this or not, but they also have this version of the camera. I don't know what it is. I think it's either infrared or something like that. And then back to dark. As you can see, all you can see is my Xbox controller. And then back to night vision. It's actually
In the top right corner of the living room, we can see a very strange figure floating up towards the ceiling. This shadow could not possibly come from Marvin, since he's not moving in that way at all. He states that his family firmly believes that this is a shadow figure and is also responsible for the objects moving around in the house. Do you think this is a true haunting? Let me know your opinions in the comments. The following video was captured by Iron City Paranormal during an investigation in the supposedly haunted North Country Brewing Pub in Slippery Rock, PA. They had set up several trail cameras this night in different corners of the old pub. Those cameras record for 11 seconds whenever they detect motion, the uploader states. Apparently, in this short clip, we can see something opening the door in the background. The team is certain that it wasn't any of their members opening the door, but are we maybe seeing a head here? I mean, how else could we explain this phenomenon? Pretty mysterious. User of a Jack has shared the following capture with the paranormal community. He states, "I'm a member of Iron City Paranormal out of Pittsburgh and wanted to share this quick clip we caught from our investigation back in October at Greenville Manor. Needless to say, no one in our party was even close to the proper size to pull this off themselves." They believe this to be a shadow arm, which was perhaps waving at the team. Or some other shadowy figure. Interesting for sure, since nobody else was back there. What else could it have been? Now we'll check out the security footage of Claudia White, who has shared an eerie creature, or apparition for that matter, with her viewers. She states, "Nightcrawler-looking being captured on my mother's CCTV in Montana, 20 seconds mark in the top right corner. This video was captured on a home surveillance system at 9:45 p.m. The figure appears in the top right corner, along with sounds that seem to match a pig or some kind of mammal." Sounds intriguing. Let's take a look. Okay, so here we see the mysterious creature entering the screen, and I'm sure you also have heard these pig-like noises. But what is it? It looks like it's walking on all fours. Maybe it is the infamous Nightcrawler. Certainly looks pretty suspicious. What do you guys think? If it's not a prank, might be something from another realm. In this deeply unsettling video from May 18th, 2022, a woman named Letitia experienced something truly eerie while staying alone in her Airbnb, or so she thought. The incident occurred around midnight when she was abruptly awakened by a noise she could have never anticipated. Let's dive into the footage. Although convinced she was alone, Letitia was startled by a scream that seemed to emanate from within the Airbnb. Initially paralyzed by fear, she hesitated to move, but eventually she gathered the courage to investigate. Despite thoroughly checking the apartment, she found nothing out of the ordinary. The mystery surrounding the recording remains unresolved, leaving us to wonder, was it a prank, a noise from outside, or something far more sinister? Now back to the house of user WinMCPix, who also is dealing with a malevolent shadow figure, and who has blessed us today with some new updates.
I'm home alone. I'm hearing my own voice upstairs. The door won't stop knocking. And there's nobody there. This door keeps banging. I thought I was hearing my voice. Nobody's there. Go away! Open the door. Ooh, that was right over my shoulder. Who's... I'm giving you one chance to leave. I know what you're doing. It's not scaring me. It's not scaring anybody else. You need to leave now. Yeah, I got a feeling you're in this room, aren't you? Are you in here? This again. Okay. All right. If you're gonna play these games all night, I'm not gonna play. I'm not doing this. And now I hear the bathroom water on. Good grief. Get out.
So, do you think this activity is demonic? This security officer was on duty during his overnight patrol when he witnessed the following. A man named Javier Biones takes overnight shifts as a road safety guard positioned at a checkpoint located in Uruguay. He mentions that over recent days he's been hearing someone tapping at the checkpoint entrance. But whenever he walks around the perimeter, nobody's ever there. During another late evening on his night shift, Javier goes live to talk about what's been happening when he hears the tapping once more, and this time he captures it. As he moves the camera across both sides of the glass, the shape of an unsettling pale woman can be spotted, gradually turning her head and staring at him. Could this be the ghost of someone who previously died on the roadway? This short video stems from an investigation from urban explorer Tayanga, who was out with a friend the following night to investigate a supposedly haunted and currently abandoned hospital. Many people have spoken of former patients that can be seen roaming the empty hallways, and what sparked the further exploration of this particular hallway was the sighting of a headless person that they only got on camera for a few seconds. It does look like a regular, perhaps younger person, but their head is completely gone. And the two men state that they found no trace of anybody else in there after scouting out the floor intensively. So, what exactly was unfolding here that night, in your opinion? Blue ghost tunnel to follow up on some research they found on the internet. They came across something pretty inexplicable in their minds. Important to note, they state that they did not bring any flashlights at the time of their initial recordings and only came back with one after exiting the cave and running into a couple that actually had brought one way later. Let's take a look.
Whoa. I can hear your footsteps. I just seen a light at the end of the tunnel. What the f? Hello? What the f was that?
A mysterious light was seen right at the end of the tunnel. Given that nobody had a flashlight, it made them wonder what could have been the cause for that. Also, the cries for help were only discovered after the couple had returned home. Was it cries from the afterlife? In 1888, 30 people lost their lives right in front of the tunnel when a train crashed after the conductor had jumped off and left the machine, as well as several more fatal accidents that had taken place around the cave. Could this all be the reason for the residual energy that might have been captured on tape here? Who can say? Following video was traveling on a narrow road in the middle of nowhere one night. Apparently this area is pretty notorious for scary incidents that have been reported over the last 100 years. The most common story, however, is the one about the lady in red, who can be seen ever so often, standing on the side of the road and looking at passing vehicles. It is said that she lost her life in this very area a long time ago, but that her spirit is still haunting these grounds. The man was pretty uneasy after noticing a figure in what appears to be a red dress. He states that all he wanted is to get home as soon as possible after noticing this thing on the side of the road. And I suppose it will remain a mystery if that was actually the lady in red or just a lost person. Alright, this video was uploaded by Nitro Sideshow, and he tells us a video of an alleged ghost sighting recorded in the Vale Town Museum in Victor, New York. Not a lot of info has been given to us at this point, but I suppose it's a museum ghost. Let's take a look at it. An unexplained figure moves from the background forward. The investigator doesn't notice the moving figure, okay, so they did not notice it at the time, and we decide, of course. Is it maybe here? Is there somebody standing? It does appear like it a little, but... I certainly see something standing here. But it's super grayish. Oh yeah, it is moving, look at that. There is something certainly moving here. Really really weird. Look here, when he walks past the pole, you can see through the face, kinda. Which would not be possible if we are talking another investigator, perhaps, or another human being. I mean, I saw it immediately, that there seemed to be somebody standing, and now, yeah, see that? How he moves back and forth, and then it's just gone. This is a significant capture. I really like that one. And I don't think that to be a human being. Just see, you can always a little bit see through that thing. That's why I don't believe. The following video was uploaded by user TwistedChamber666, who states that a friend has sent the following clip. It was nighttime when this was recorded, and the person's nephew was staying in the hospital at the time with a close family member. Visiting times were long over, and it was more than unlikely that anybody was out on the hallway that late at night.
Oh, hello. Very gorgeous.
However, what appears to be a dark black shadow is passing through in the background. The family believes this to be a spirit and could find nobody in the hallway after checking shortly after. Do you believe this could be the case? Could this be a real ghost? I mean, a real person would probably not move that fast, right? Really creepy. The following eerie encounter was shared by Jorge Cruz and his family. According to Jorge, ever since they moved into their new home, they've been plagued by a series of disturbing events. Jorge, who has long had an interest in the paranormal, might have unwittingly opened a door to the unknown.
I'm having a breakdown.
When he decided to experiment with a Ouija board, this could have potentially invited malevolent entities into their home. However, this wasn't the first time Jorge captured something unusual on camera. He mentioned that these entities appear to have taken a particular interest in his family, even lurking outside their home during the dead of night. One of the most terrifying incidents occurred just a few nights ago. In the middle of the night, Jorge was abruptly awakened by the sound of his bedroom door slamming shut. Initially, he dismissed it, attributing it to a possible draft, and went back to sleep. However, the next day, curiosity got the better of him, and he decided to review the footage from the baby monitor. What he discovered sent chills down his spine. The video revealed a loud, ominous banging noise preceding the door slamming shut. Then a shadowy, dark figure slowly crept into view, lurking near the base of the baby's crib, almost as if it was watching the child sleep. The sinister mass even seemed to reach out toward the child, briefly interacting with the stuffed animal, before vanishing into thin air without a trace. Whatever has made its way into Jorge's home is undoubtedly something malevolent. The big question now is how Jorge will confront this ominous presence in the days to come. Michael and Heather are a couple that like to tamper with the paranormal forces. They stream some of their Ouija sessions to their viewership, and ever so often, some really interesting events are unfolding. But lately, as one would expect, these forces seem to make it into their house, even if they are not playing with their Ouija board. As we know, playing with a board opens up a door that oftentimes can't be closed easily again.
Hello? Hello? Whoa. Hello?
Yet they decided to proceed with their live Ouija sessions. On a side note, never take off your hands off the planchette without ending the session first.
I'm freaked out now.
As you can imagine, it didn't end there. The following night, they heard some disturbance from outside of the bedroom.
Shh, shh, shh. Who's there?
Did the poltergeist open all their cupboards? Or were they opened previously without showing us? But it escalated even more. Around 2 AM, an intruder seemed to start ringing their doorbell. Nobody can be seen outside their house. Strange. It seems that to this day, these events haven't really calmed down. They have several security cameras mounted in their home to capture all the activity. Even their pets are starting to get freaked out. Let's see how this case develops in the future. User, fortunately now, has shared the following capture of his niece. It reads as follows. 12 AM. 2-year-old captures something on phone. She's my niece. I tried to sage the house. No joke. Fell down the 2nd floor. I can't get a paranormal team to go out without payment. Can barely afford the phone, let alone an investigation. That thing I couldn't handle alone. It sounds that Fortunate's family is haunted by an evil shadow being that might have malevolent tendencies. As he's asking for help on Reddit, one can only hope that they find aid, because they might really need it. This security footage stems from a shop owner's surveillance system, recorded frightening footage in Jensana. The shopkeeper was operating his business at 2 in the morning, while playing religious recitations, when an eerie pale woman dressed in dark clothing walks into his establishment, declaring herself to be an angel. She tells him not to be afraid, that she's an angel. But the shopkeeper describes her feet as resembling the hoofs of a horse. It's obvious the man was absolutely scared by the appearance of this person, or being. He suspects it might have been a jinn, and without the holy verses playing, he could have been at risk from it. Let's turn our attention to Dino Nuggets 741, who, after enduring a harrowing experience with a demonic presence in his old home, finally found a way to move to a new location. Unfortunately, it seems that whatever entity tormented him before has followed him to his new residence. Dino regularly shares updates about these unsettling encounters on his personal channel. Several of his viewers suggested that he recite a prayer in an effort to cleanse his home of this persistent spirit. Taking their advice to heart, Dino decided to give it a try. However, the events that unfolded during the prayer were nothing short of terrifying as the prayer played.
He restores my soul. He leads me in the paths of righteousness for his name's sake. Soul, guide me along the paths of righteousness for the sake of your name. Even though I walk through the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. Bless the work of this person, the work of everyone in this home, so that it may be fruitful, productive, and bring great joy to this family. In the name of Jesus, I declare.
Loud and aggressive knocks began to echo from upstairs, each one more forceful than the last. These relentless bangs were soon accompanied by the sound of a door slamming shut. Then, without any warning, the glass face of a clock suddenly shattered, sending shards falling to the floor. Moments later, a large shadowy figure appeared in the doorway at the end of the hall. This ominous black silhouette stood menacingly in the doorway, staring down the hall towards the TV. In an instant, the TV switched off, as if controlled by the entity. The figure then slowly retreated back into the room, vanishing from view. Later, Dino recorded an update to show the damage caused during this spine-chilling encounter.
This is my house. Lights, pretty normal. So, in that video, you'll hear two things break. This is my awesome stepson. I try not to have glass in the house for this very reason, but it broke.
Among the destruction was a framed photo of his stepson and the shattered clock, leaving no doubt that this entity is not only malevolent, but also capable of causing significant harm.
Clock, which you guys have probably seen in a number of my videos outside of here. Notice there's no damage. Just one thing wrong, it's missing the glass. It exploded, and you can literally barely touch this thing, and it goes out. So let's take it over here.
According to Dino, he has been haunted by this dark presence for the past 10 years. No matter how many times he relocates or what methods he employs, nothing seems to rid him of this relentless spirit.